What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking out another video. Thanks for rocking with me. Huge shout out to all my sponsors. Huge shout out to everybody that's been watching my channel for a while, and huge shout out to all the new people. You know what I'm saying? That's a bunch of shouting. But let's dive right into this. Onewheel or Esk8? Onewheel or Esk8? It's a tough one. It's a question I'm getting asked almost on a daily basis these days. As a lot of you guys know, for the new viewers, I'll explain a little bit. I've been pretty big into the electric skateboard scene for a few years now. It's something I deeply, deeply love, and it's something I'm very, very passionate about. I've always been familiar, I guess you could say, with Onewheels. They've came out to the group rides. I tried them multiple times and couldn't ever get the hang of it. It wasn't something I disliked, it was just something I couldn't do. One thing that I always did notice with the Onewheel guys though was there was a little bit more of a vibe, a bit more of a connection with their crews. I always thought that was really cool. The community behind Esk8 is something that, in my opinion, has changed a lot over the last few years. It's became very, very competitive, very, very who's bigger, who's better, who's got the newest, who's releasing this, who's copying who. And it's just, there became so much negativity behind it that it's transferred through to group rides, to stuff like that should just be about fun, and it's turned into who has the biggest battery, who has the coolest thing. Like I said, the list goes on, and I noticed a lot of, I guess you could say, bullying in the community, and that's not something I will stand for, no matter where I'm at, no matter what situations it's in. If I see people getting picked on, I'm gonna say something. That's just who I am. I'm a very outspoken person. I don't really bite my tongue for much. But anyways, that I could talk about for days. Just delving a bit, trying to paint the picture a bit for where I stand as far as what I look at in the community when I open up social media, when I go to these group rides, when I see things. Now, a friend of mine hooked it up with a V1, Onewheel V1. That wasn't long ago. You guys seen it in the videos. I think it was in like February, one of my earlier videos when I first got the Onewheel. I could barely ride it, but I was having so much fun learning. So much fun learning.
Put it on your face. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Started watching some more videos. I had been following a dude, Bodie Harrison, for a while before I even started like Onewheeling. It's just the tricks and shit, the skill that these dudes have and that they bring to the table in Onewheeling made me want to be able to at least get close to stuff like that. I thought it was a lot of fun. It looked like a lot of fun. So I kept progressing, kept riding it a little bit more. Started reaching out, talking more to the Onewheel community, which is very, very inviting. That's another big upside to the Onewheel. The community is very inviting. It's not all about who has the biggest, best, whatever. There's a Onewheel, and that's about it. There's not competitors. There's not other brands. It's Onewheel. So I thought that was cool that a lot of it's just based really around the riding, which is what drew me into the Esk8 culture and community in the beginning. And like I said, that kind of just turned into a constant competitive thing going on in that world. And that's cool with me. Competition's fine, but that's what I'm leaving it at right now, is competitive. I'm still super, super down to race. I love all that shit. I'm still riding, still doing my own thing, but just, if you've noticed, I haven't been as active in the community electric skateboarding as I have been. It's not something I'm leaving. It's just, I feel right now it's time for me just to take a step back for a minute and see where it evolves and see where it goes to. So I've been riding the Onewheel a lot. I got this XR recently from Bob's Stoke Shop. Fucking love it, man. It's decked out in Float Life accessories. Got the Bigfoot front concave pad on it. Hoosier treaded. It's just rad. I love this board. And that's another thing we'll get into in a little bit is talking about the vendors, the different companies in Onewheel and different companies in Esk8. But yeah, so that thing is a trail monster. And then we have my Cyclotiller right here. This is my Cyclotiller West Coast Standard board. I love this board. This board does everything for me. It's my commuter, it's my racer, it's my everything. But there's things that the Onewheel can do that my board can't do, and things that my board can do and my Onewheel can't. So I guess today we're not really gonna do what's better. We're gonna do what the differences in my opinion are. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. Hopefully it answers some of your questions. There's going to be a lot of riding. I'm planning on doing like 20 or 30 miles today to get this video done. So let's see where it goes. Let's get this started. Let's go. A lot of my time is spent in areas like this. So let's get a running start into what the Onewheel can do. It handles dirt amazing, handles rocks. Actually going over little rocks is fun. You get like a little bonk going and it's pretty cool. Single track riding on these things is a whole nother level. These are trails I haven't been able to take an Esk8 on just for the fact that they're so thin. There's so many different protruded rocks and stuff that'll throw you off an Esk8 quick. Now ripping them on a Onewheel is a bit of a different story. I'll get about 14 to 16 miles of range riding terrain like this, so it's probably my favorite now to take up into the mountains, just for the fact that its maneuverability is beyond anything else I've rode. And as you can see, it handles dirt like a beast. It's too much fun. I don't know how to describe it. Like, ooh, check out this little ledge. So, well, it's actually a pretty big ledge, but this is super fun. Getting a little technical on it, you know what I'm saying? Getting up on bigger stuff and just riding it out, seeing what you can do. Coming up on drops is woo! Yeah, I love that shit right there. But so, like I said, these trails aren't something you're necessarily going to be able to take an Esk8 on. Not saying it's not going to handle all of them, but like this one, for instance, a mountain bike trail, there's no way a board would even fit on that. Once it gets a bit wider and opened up, yeah, it's good. And anything's going to ride on it, but who wants to pick up their board for those little stupid spots? You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't. That's just not convenient, and convenience is, let's be honest, one of the reasons we ride electrics. The convenience of the Onewheel, turn it on and go. There's no controller. I mean, I carry a charger with me. You don't need extra sets of belts and a whole bunch of tools. These things are the definition of convenient. And they take up about as much room as a regular skateboard, so no problem stacking them. And I guarantee if you get one, you're going to get some more because the family will love it. Precious took a couple spills on Esk8s, riding boards, the jerk of the acceleration, whatnot. But the Onewheel, she loves it. Now don't get me wrong, things go bad. Nosedives. Everybody's heard of nosedives. They're sketchy. This is my only one, and it was my fault. That was not the board's fault. So just respect the board. See? Little one respects the board and he's fine. Pulls a wagon all around with black blocks in it. That brings me to another thing. These black blocks right here that we pull around in the wagon, they're slide blocks. They are awesome. You go set them up anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Bust out a little spot session. Which, what it comes down to is my favorite part overall of the Onewheel. It feels like skateboarding to me. Nose slides, body varials, whatnot. It's just awesome to go get a session in, spend an hour or so at one spot. I love them. So overall, for the Onewheel, I'd have to say I strongly like it overall. Mine's decked out in accessories from vendors like the Float Life, Lemonade Float Company, Flux Movement, Bob's Soap Shop, Armadillos. The vendors in this community are absolutely amazing. They show mad love to the riders. Mad love. I cannot express that enough. So everybody from the Onewheel community, thank y'all for all the love. Thank you so much. Graffiti, tattoos, hip-hop, skateboarding. I've been into it since I was a preteen. So naturally, electric skateboarding, when I got into it hard. I absolutely love it. I love ripping these boards. I love taking these boards and pushing them to their absolute limits. Electric skateboarding, God, I don't even know where to start. Let's start with one of the most appealing factors, the speed. The fact you can take off like that on a car from a red light and almost leave it like it was standing still. That's one hell of a thrill, you know what I'm saying? Those big motors and these big battery packs that'll get you 20, 30, 40 miles of range. It's great. The boards have gone from boards to vehicles. I mean, bikes are recreational things, and we fly past bikes. So if speed's what you're looking for, Esk8 is the way to go all day long. You'll have no problem flying past cars and such. But with that comes a numerous amount of negative things. Being 100% honest, I have seen a lot more Esk8 failures than I have Onewheel failures. Now, part of that reason being, there are so many different Esk8 companies coming out now these are boards being made by people that haven't skated. They're being marketed by people that can barely ride them. I know that sounds bad for me to say, and I do not mean to hurt anyone's feelings by it, but it's the truth. A lot of these guys that are turning this community into this overly competitive, egotistical pissing contest have these boards with these high specs they brag about, but cannot ride them, can't go play in traffic, can't go fly through stuff, cannot handle the skill of their boards, which in turn is making the rest of the community look like some douchebags. I know there's going to be some blowback on that one, but I'm just speaking the truth. If you can go find Esk8 group chat that has not became a pissing contest and send me a screenshot of it in the comments, I will retract my statement. But look at what it's become. It really sucks to break it down and say it like that, but skating, I'm always gonna love skating. Electric skateboarding, longboarding, skateboarding will always be part of who I am. That's me. That's my lifestyle. However, where the electric skateboard community has gone, it's not what it used to be. It's not grooving times. It's not dancing. It's why I've kind of took a step back and changed up my content a little bit more and changed up what I'm doing. With electric skateboarding right now is hauling ass, having fun with the homies. I'm still getting down. I'm still skating every day. Don't worry about that. If you don't see my content and you don't see me posting skating videos to the groups, it ain't that I quit skating. It's just honestly, I quit fucking with most of y'all. Well, damn, Caddy. That didn't answer any of my questions on which one's better. That was all opinion. Exactly what I'm saying here. It's all about the ride is what it comes down to. There's a million different products. There's a million different ways to go with this. For me, community's big. I've verbally expressed where I stand with all this as far as the communities go. And that's what it is. If I hurt people's feelings, sorry, but I'm not sorry. You know what I'm saying? I want to give a huge shout out to some of the Onewheel vendors I was talking about. Big shout out to the Float Life. Big shout out to Armadillos, Lemonade Float Company, Flux Movement, Bob Stoke Shop, Stoke Life Services, Denver Mob. All these people have shown me much, much love. I'm a no name in One Wheel at all. I'm just a regular guy. I'm just another customer. And the customer support in this is amazing. Esk8, huge shout out to all my sponsors, Lazy Rolling, West Coast Standard, Psycho Tiller, Shred Lights, Courageous, Ionic Flux. Huge shout out to Insta360. Much love to everybody. Thank you guys for watching the video if you watched the whole thing. And if you take anything out of this, just remember, man, it's opinion. It's what do you want out of a ride? What stokes you? What makes you happy at the end of the day? On that note, God bless y'all.